What up YouTube, it's David Wallman and we're going to do another gear review today, this time about something that affects how well and how warm you sleep at night. And no, it's not a puppy, sadly, and no, it's not a sleeping bag. We're going to talk about a backpacking air mattress. So without further ado, let's talk about the Nemo Tensor 20R. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it and try and keep this short and sweet. So I own this pad, have for about a year, been on lots of different trips with it. I've been through numerous pads over the last few years to try and find my favorite pad, and I think I'm gonna land and stick with this one. There's only one downside to it, really, that I have with it. Otherwise, it is a great pad. It's amongst the smallest and lightest on the market, and it's quite comfy, and yada, 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 all the things. Let's talk about it. So first of all, the size, here it is in all its splendor. It's about the size, almost exactly, of a Nalgene bottle. So if you have a Nalgene bottle at home, feel free to just stick that in your bag and you'll know exactly how much space it's gonna take up, because it's almost the exact in width, dimension, height, all the above, although obviously not as heavy as with water in it. This is technically a slightly older model, the 20R, but from what I can tell and have seen in person, the newer model is almost exactly the same. Really, the only difference is some minor differences in the nozzle. Love it for its size and weight. Like I said, it's one of the lightest out there on the market that I've found. It's also one of the smallest out there on the market I've found. Considering its size, I should say, it's also one of the warmest and thickest ones out there on the market. First, let's talk a little bit about the case itself. So it comes in a bright yellow case. It has this sewn to both sides, some basic info on it. Which I kind of wish that could be taken off, but oh well. Inside you have the pad itself, and it comes with a little Nemo strap, Velcro strap, which is, you know, small little detail, but you know what, it's kind of nice because that does make a difference. If you take that off, then we have the pad and the bag. Now in the bag there is a patch kit, which is great, and actually this is one thing I do love about this specific case. I've had pads before where the patch kit is inside, but just like in a little Ziploc baggie, and so it easily gets lost and falls out. In this case, as you can see, there's a little pouch that stays on the inside of the bag, and then to actually get inside the pouch, you have to flip it upside down. So it's almost kind of a self-sealing, if you will, in that it's kind of hard to lose it or for it to dump out. So that's really nice, and the patch is actually a yellow color, comes with a little bit of adhesive as well, so you could actually take some of these out for weight, but it does come with a patch to match color. One kind of downside, but not really a downside at all, is that the nozzle on this is actually kind of a little bulbous. It sticks out from the rest of the pad. I kind of wish that they employed a smaller flat nozzle so that it just tucked in a little tighter, because once you have this in a bag, it does kind of stick out, which can be annoying. On the new ones, they are the flat 2-valve system, just so you know. But to blow it up, it's a simple matter of it has a twist to lock function, and then you basically pull it out to open it, or you pull it in, push it in to basically close it. So it's actually really easy to blow up. It doesn't have a self-sealing valve, but while blowing up, it's really easy to pull out, blow in, close, take a breath, pull out, blow in, take a breath, close, etc. Ultimately, great valve, never had issues with it leaking or any of the bag actually leaking, so that's a plus. So let's blow this up and take a look at what it looks like set up. Let's blow it up. All right, so now that we have this blown up, I need space. All right, so we've got it all blown up now, and as you can tell, it takes a lot of breath to blow this up. It's a 3-inch thick mattress, which is awesome for comfort, but sucks for blowing it up. There is no kind of pump system for this. I don't even believe the newer ones have any kind of pump system or bag pump system, so just keep that in mind. It takes a lot of breath. Awesome pad as far as its cushion and whatnot, which is great. This is the insulated version, so there is an interior foil basically for reflective heat. which is great. I've found it to be a very warm pad. The downside, and the one downside that I don't like about this pad is it is noisy. Here's a sample of it while it's deflated. It's very noisy, and especially once you're lying on it. I can't really replicate it with my hands, but once you're actually lying on it, it's still a fairly noisy pad. It sounds like there's a bunch of tin foil inside, which essentially there is. So it makes sense. But more so than a lot of the other pads that I have tried, even just in stores, going through a bunch of them, this pad seems to be one of the most noisy, which is a bummer. So if you are a super light sleeper, or you have someone sleeping next to you that is a light sleeper, this may be a really annoying pad. The outside material sounds just the same as every other material, so there's no difference there. It's really just the insulation that they use sounds super crinkly. Ultimately, super comfortable. I tend to slide sleep, and the fact that it's 3 inches thick is awesome. I do enjoy that thoroughly. It's a very comfortable pad to sleep on. It's just kind of noisy if you're moving around a lot in the night. Also, let it be noted, this is a rectangular shape, not a mummy shape, which is actually great that considering its size and weight, you get the full spectrum. I also want to point out something very odd about these air mattresses and all of Nemo's air mattresses. They don't give an R rating value. Now, if you don't know what R value is, it's a universal unit of measurement for an insulation value. It's used in home insulation, and it's used in, basically, it's a universal measurement. And any other brand you look at that I've found uses R ratings. Nemo doesn't say what theirs are, and no, the 20R is not, it's not. So Nemo gives a temp rating, but they don't give an R value, which I don't like because that's just so subjective. There's so many factors that go into it, from individual body styles to what you ate to what you drank that day, to what you're wearing, to how many layers you're wearing, to your tent insulation, to how much insulation you have, to if you're on dirt or on rock, to, I mean, there's so many different factors, humidity, things that go into warmth, that just to give a warmth rating for a pad is just dumb. So yeah, that's like one lame downside, but really that's a tech spec. Ultimately, it's still a warm pad. I would assume that it's somewhere around the 3.5. I'm just guesstimating that from other bags that are similar, kind of in this price range and stuff like that, somewhere between a 3 and a 3.5. So just to wrap this up, it is an awesome air pad if you're looking for a backpacking pad. It is light, it is small, it is warm, it is durable as best as I have been able to find. The downside is it's really noisy, and then it takes a lot of breath to blow up. And that's about it. All right, hopefully that was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. If it wasn't, please still give it a thumbs up. And if this was the kind of stuff you like, please subscribe and hit that little notification bell. I tend to put out a lot of gear reviews, and also I want to get into more instructional stuff on camping and whatnot. But either way, thanks very much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.